Hello, this is Dr. Brigandy, and this video is on identifying personally meaningful project ideas for your SPED 404 honors project. So I'm going to go back over what it means to select a meaningful project. So meaningful ideas are grounded in personal interests, your identity, and benefits that matter to you either now or in the future. So I'm going to give this example. Let's say I'm reading a book. I might choose to read a book because I find the topic of the book interesting or because I just enjoy reading. I could also read a book because it's tied to my identity. Maybe it's talking about recycling and I picture myself as somebody who's very much invested in recycling, or perhaps the protagonist in the story I identify with. They're like me. I could read a book that I'm not interested in, and even if I don't enjoy reading, because it's going to benefit me now or in the future. Let's say I'm reading a book because I have a class and I need to pass that class. Or I might persevere and read a book that I don't find interesting because it has content in it that I need to master so that I can be better at something that I'm going to do in the future. So again, meaningful. Are you interested? Do you enjoy it? Does it validate who you are as a human? Or will it somehow benefit you now or in the future? We're going to go through a series of activities. I mean, it's really easy to say, oh, find an idea that you find personally meaningful and do a project on it. But you might be just sitting there blanking, right? So I'm going to go do a couple of activities that might spark some ideas that would lead you to pursue a meaningful project. And the first one is to talk about your childhood dreams. I'm going to start by telling a story, and then I'm going to have you visualize. So, when I was 8 years old, when I was a child, I wanted to be an archaeologist when I grew up. And that's because I was playing with a friend and we were behind this dilapidated mansion in our neighborhood. And we came across a treasure trove. It was the dump behind the back of the house. And there were all these bottles that were buried underground. And we went home and we got a bunch of tools and we came back. And over the next few days, we started carefully digging the bottles out of the dirt because if you weren't careful, they would break. And we would pull them out, and we unearthed like these glass bottles, and they had raised letters on them, and they said Lysol or Clorox or Breck, and they were cork top, and they were different colors, like some were clear glass and some were green and some were dark brown. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing. And I just knew that I wanted to dig artifacts out of the earth for the rest of my life. I am sure that everyone who's listening to this video right now had a dream for what they wanted to be in the future when they were a child. And so I'm going to ask you to visualize that. So I would like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I want you to think back to when you were a child, maybe 6 or 7 or 8, and try to recall what you wanted to be when you grew up. And now I want you to remember the experience that first sparked that interest. For me, it was playing in the dirt and digging up these bottles. What was it for you? Did you see somebody doing it on a TV show or in real life? Did you talk to someone? Did you read about it in a book, see it in a movie? Take another deep breath and open your eyes. So, what I want you to do now is either write down or say out loud, what did you want to be when you were a child? And what was the experience that sparked that interest in you? You can also think about barriers, reasons that you gave up on that dream. And if you think maybe that idea was meaningful to you, did you find it fun or interesting? Was it tied to your sense of identity? Were you benefiting yourself or the community? Is there a project that you could do for your honors section of this course that relates to that past interest of yours? We're going to go to activity 2 now. So the first activity was based on what you wanted to be in the past. But now I want you to close your eyes and imagine this scene. It's 15 years in the future. You're reading or watching television or you're browsing the internet, and you discover that a successful person is being honored for their achievements. That person is you. What meaningful contributions did you make that you're being recognized for? How do you feel about being recognized for that in this moment? Consider your talents, your passions, and the impact of your work. Is there something that can help you to accomplish the goals that you're imagining in real time? Is there a skill that you need to learn? Is there something that you need to pursue? Is there something that you can do to clear a path to making what you're envisioning a reality? Again, write this down. You can pause the video and write this down, or you can just say it out loud into the air. Our third activity. Have you ever heard of a pet peeve? I think we all go through life and we find things that annoy us. I mean, for me, it's when people have their phones out in like plays or movie theaters or even just in general. So I find that very annoying. Some pet peeves that people have are people like chewing food loudly or dropping doors on people, or what are some pet peeves that you have? And if you can't think of any right now, you can spend the next few days just sort of observing yourself and the people around you and keep a running list. Like, this annoys me. There was one student one time who, during COVID, we students weren't allowed to eat in the cafeteria, so they had to bring all of the food up to their dorm rooms. But what was happening was they were carrying so much food, and when they went to hit the button for the elevator, people were dropping their trays. So every time students were getting on the elevators to go to their room, there was like smashed sodas or French fries on the floor. So one student, this was annoying her. So she actually went to facilities at WVU and she advocated to have tables put next to all of the elevators across campus in the dorms so that students could put their trays down before hitting the button. So, is there a pet peeve that you have that could become a project for you? Another student was annoyed at the lack of accessibility on the PRT. So they went and advocated for seating, special seating areas for people who had disabilities. So, is there something that bothers you that could maybe be a project? You can also pause this video and you can write these down, or you can just start saying them out loud. You could record yourself saying them on your phone if you'd like to. So, activity number 4. I do want you, if you haven't been writing things down, why don't you just start noodling or writing or journaling some project ideas based on your past interests, your past goals, your future aspirations, your current annoyances? What are some ideas that you can come up with for a project that you could do for honors that would be meaningful for you? Something you're interested in, something you enjoy, something tied to who you are as a human, or something that will benefit you or society. So now that you're sort of have some ideas sparked, at least I hope, and you're a little bit grounded, um, I'm going to say that you can go on and complete assignment one. So your honors identifying meaningful project ideas. And then what that asks you to do is to come up with one idea based on each one category of meaningfulness and write that down. That could potentially be a project for you. And I hope that you do well on that assignment, and I look forward to working with you.